guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of the new foundation by Fenty Beauty. This is called the Pro Filt'r Hydrating Longwear foundation. So I just got a sample at Sephora. I got the shade 150 because that is what I usually get in the soft matte foundation by her. So just a couple of quick specs on this. The full size retails for $35, but you get 1.08 ounces of product, which is actually a little bit higher than you would in a normal size foundation. Anything over an ounce is awesome. So for $35, that's actually a really good price point for high end. It comes in a plastic tube, so it's great for travel. It claims to be a hydrating longwear foundation that delivers comfortable medium to full coverage in a natural finish, perfect for normal to dry skin. So I have dry skin and I actually like the matte. So we're going to be giving this a try today. So if you guys are interested in how I got this look and my thoughts on the new Fenty foundation, then just keep watching. Alright, you guys, I went ahead and primed my skin, so we're ready to just go ahead and go in with the sample immediately. So just go ahead and get it out. So this might be slightly light for me because I did just go to the beach yesterday, so I did get a little bit of a tan there, but I'm hoping with some bronzer we'll be able to make it work. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in with a concealer brush just to paint it on. And then we'll use the Beauty Blender to blend it out. And we'll use a decent amount because it's medium to full coverage. It's not full coverage right off the bat. Okay, so upon first application, it's definitely much less coverage than I was hoping for it to be. However, it is very hydrating and like illuminating. You can see that glow. However, if I get closer, you can see a lot of my discoloration coming through. So we're gonna go ahead and add more. Now this would normally be about the amount that I would apply with my regular Jouer foundation. So to get full coverage, well, we'll see if we can get full coverage, but you definitely need to go back in to get more coverage. So we'll go ahead and build this up. Okay, so that did build up quite a bit more. It's still not that full coverage, but I would say that it would fall in the category of buildable to full coverage, even though it's not quite that full that I'm used to. It does offer quite a bit of coverage, so I am pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my concealer on. I'm just using Shape Tape today. And we'll just see how this blends out on top of it. And I am going to use slightly more than I normally do, just to get a little bit more coverage from the concealer. Okay, you guys, the concealer blended out quite nicely over top of it. As you can see, I am very, very shiny, so I am going to go ahead and set this just with my normal powders. I'm going to use the Ciate Translucent Setting Powder and then the CoverGirl True Blend Powder. Alright, you guys, here's everything set down with powder. As you can tell, things are a little bit light compared to my neck. Normally this would be like my go-to shade. However, since it's summer, my skin tone kind of fluctuates a little bit. So I would definitely go up a shade to a darker shade if I were to purchase the full size of this. However, I have to say that after applying powder, I'm definitely not liking this as much as I like the matte or soft matte formula. Coverage wise, it's about the same. However, if you look at my forehead here, you can see it kind of broke up once I applied some of that powder. So I'm not loving it, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup and we'll take a look at it then. Alright, you guys, here is the finished makeup look. Everything applied quite nicely on top of it after applying the powder and having a little bit of separation on the forehead. But other than that, everything, bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that went on really nicely. And from here, it looks really good. It looks very healthy and yeah, nothing bad to say. It's just when you get up a little bit closer, you can see a little bit of that separation. However, I do think the bronzer helped a little bit with that to kind of disguise it. So we're gonna go ahead and wear this and I will do a check-in in a few hours to give you guys any updates. It's also raining outside, so keep that in mind. It's been about 4 hours since I completed my makeup, so I wanted to do a quick check-in. As far as the foundation, everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that I have noticed is I have some settling into my lines on my forehead. But nothing around, like my smile lines still look really good. Under the eye still looks really good. But yeah, that's the only thing that I've really noticed that has changed since we completed the makeup. So I'll go ahead and show you up close. So things still look pretty good. So I will just plan to check in again in about another 4 hours and give you my final thoughts then. Alright, you guys, I'm back with my final check-in. I've had this makeup on for a little over 8 hours, so what would normally be a full day's wear. And not much has changed since the last check-in. I do have a little bit of settling in my smile lines, and then I don't think anything on my forehead has gotten any worse. So all in all, it still looks pretty good. I did eat dinner and now I have a little bit of the foundation has broken up around my mouth. But I did eat pizza, so it's kind of more of a greasier option. So maybe if I was eating something with like a fork and not getting it all over my face, it wouldn't be so bad. But so the major thing that I have noticed is just the settling into my lines. And I did use the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which does fill in those lines a little bit, but I still noticed some settling. So all in all, I would say that this is a good foundation. However, it's not my favorite and I don't plan on purchasing the full size. Surprisingly, for somebody who has dry skin, I actually prefer the soft matte over the luminous. I know that's super strange. I think for me, it was just a little bit too luminous, if there is such a thing. And then I ended up having to set my whole face just to be able to make it last. Now, if it were something that I wasn't going to be wearing all day, then I would be able to just powder the certain areas. But since this was a wear test and I wanted to get a full day's wear out of it, I did fully powder it to get longer wear out of it. One thing I do want to say about Fenty foundations is the undertones in these shades. She has completely nailed it. I would say that the undertone in both of these foundations is the closest to my natural skin tone than any other foundation that I've ever tried. And that says a lot. They do have a very large shade selection. So if you're someone who struggles to find the perfect undertone, maybe check out one of these foundations. And if they aren't your favorite foundation, you could maybe use them as a mix-in with another foundation that you like. However, if I were to recommend this product to anybody, I would recommend it to somebody who has normal to dry skin, and also is looking for like a medium coverage. It doesn't really give me that full coverage that I'm looking for. I would say the coverage is actually better in the soft matte formula than it is in the luminous. It is buildable, but I think once you start to build stuff, then you start to get more of the settling in your fine lines, and none of us want that. And also for somebody who's maybe not looking to wear it all day, somebody who just wants to wear foundation for a couple of hours each day. But that's who I would recommend this to. But between both Fenty foundations, I would actually recommend the soft matte more than the luminous, which is crazy to me. You'll never hear those words again. But that's all I had for this week's video, so be sure to subscribe if you have not already. We have a giveaway coming at 100 subscribers and we're super close, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos, and we'll see you in the next one.